Hi everyone, welcome to Booming Tarot. Today we have an LP card reading and we will be seeing all about your energies for the next month. So, the month of August. We'll be trying to see what major challenges you may be facing and where it would be nice to focus your energy and your efforts to make the best of the next month. So, we have here pile number 1, pile number 2 and pile number 3. Choose the pile that you feel most drawn to, and we'll see you guys at each other's reading, okay? Bye! Hi, pile number 1, you chose the Summoner. Let's see what more did you got. The Fool, Lovers, 5 of Swords, King of Swords, 7 of Swords, King of Cups, and you have Strawberry and Crocus. The main card that it shows takes us to a group of learning and development. So the next month you should focus a bit more on skills that you can develop, and this card specifically tells us about social skills. So it doesn't mean your social skills are not good, but what this card is calling you that maybe there was a situation, or there's going to be a situation this month that is going to call you and is going to need an effort on your part to resolve in the best possible way. So this card tells us that you should be careful of other people's feelings, and that if you make mistakes regarding situations with other people in relationships, something that you did wrong, doesn't mean if it was your intention of doing it wrong or if it was a mistake. This card just tells us that every person makes mistakes, and as we have our feelings and they can be hurt and they are precious to us, other people have their feelings, right, that are also precious to them and deserve our respect as well as we deserve their respect. So this card calls you a little bit about trying to be more self-aware of how others feel, and if you make a mistake that can hurt other people's feelings, to just be assertive and ask for sorry. The tarot cards for this month tells us that you are going to be in a situation that you haven't been before. It could be something that you chose to do this summer, an activity, or you chose to try out something new. Or it could also be just something at work or a new situation that you haven't really been in before, but you are about to face it right now. And the situation is going to bring you choices and some challenges too. So these many swords cards tells us that primarily it is going to be very stuck on your head. It's going to make you have mental struggles or even some conflicts with the people or person that is around these subjects, and it's not going to be easy on you, okay? Swords are also, we have always remember, swords are a double edge, right? The situation requires a bit of touch, soft touch. It has to have a balance between the determination and the power that you can have, that you have to resolve something, and actually also the soft side, how you deal with the situation, okay? It always has two weights. So you, especially after what the summer says, right, that you have to be careful with them and aware of other people's feelings. Swords here are also calling you to do the same. You have a situation that you have to take action. It's not only you are presented with choices that you know you are going to have them, it's not only about knowing your choices, but also about you have to choose something. You really have to take action upon this. And this card here tells us that maybe you are going to try to, because you can, and you are smart and strong and determined to do that, enough to do that, you can find a situation where you win, right? And you win at all costs. But the summoner again asks you to not do that carelessly, to think about other people's feelings and where actually the consequences that you may have for trying to have it your way, right? Then we have these two cards here, the crocus and the strawberry. The crocus again tells us about how strong you are, and your determination is enough to take you and to solve the situation in your best interests. It's going to serve you well. This card also tells you to speak up for yourself. If there is a situation that you feel it's turning out to be a bit unfair, or if the conflict is going to get a bit out of hand and you feel that your side is not being fairly treated, this card here tells you that you should speak for yourself. You should speak up, and you are going to find some balance with the other people or person that the situation is not being fair to you. And the strawberry actually tells us that there is a situation and a problem, exactly as we have been seeing, and that you will try different approaches and you won't see it moving. You will feel that you can't get out of the situation because you tried and you are not getting anywhere. But actually, these cards also tells us that you shouldn't stop trying. You should try at least one more time, but changing the angle that you see things on, changing your tactics, and that actually by doing that, changing a little bit your way, you will feel that you are actually quite rich in emotion capacity to handle the situation, and you are going to feel reassured, feel in control of the situation, and that you can solve it not only in your best interest but also not forgetting how the other person feels and not putting them in a place that later can make you regret the situation that happened. So you have the emotion capacity, you have the emotion capacity to take away this problem and sail it smoothly, even though it can be a somewhat challenging problem, okay? You have this capacity. You just have to remember to not only focus on yourself and the best solution for you, but to remember that there are all these two sides, right? And there are other people involved in these. So now we are going to shuffle an advice deck to see what advice comes for you this month. This card here tells you that if you are having some negative emotion and you are aware of it, and you are aware that it may be making your life harder, or the people around you harder, that you choose to acknowledge this emotion for yourself. For example, I feel I do this a lot when I'm feeling anxious because I can't control it well. So what I do is I'm feeling anxious. I recognize the emotion that I'm feeling. I'm feeling anxious, and I explain myself out loud why am I feeling anxious. In this way, I'm accepting my emotion, and I'm recognizing that it's okay to feel like this. It's not my fault. The situation brought me to feel like this, and it's perfectly fine. You accept the emotion, and because you speak it out loud, it's almost as if you are already releasing it, right? And you can even end up saying, but this emotion right now is not serving me, so I chose to release it. And you imagine yourself taking the emotion out of you. I usually do it out of my heart, but some people do it out of their air. Imagine the emotion, you take the emotion out and you let the emotion go. This may be just a very light exercise, and you might think, I don't know, that's going to help, but it actually helps. The mental image that you provide releasing this emotion actually helps you feel a bit lighter and actually releasing it a bit. Sometimes I have to do it more than once, but it ends up helping me a lot, letting this emotion go. It doesn't matter if you do it this way. I'm just telling you how it works for me. Maybe it can work for you, but what is important is that you recognize that you may have some negative emotion that is not serving you. It's just getting in a way of actually looking at the bigger picture and resolve this in the best possible way. Okay, this situation that's going to come for you. And this other card here, it's trust. It's actually telling you that it's quite written here, right? It's telling you that you can do this. Pile number one, this situation you can resolve it in the best possible way, and you just have to trust in yourself. And even if you are not 100% happy with the choice you make, it's not a choice that maybe will make you regret it later on, and that's the most important part, right? You took care of a situation thinking about all common parts. So, pile number one, this is what I'm seeing for you in August. It seems that you are going to have a challenging situation, but definitely you are emotionally very strong and quite determined, and you can resolve this in the best possible way. Even if it's a situation that you haven't been before and you are not very hopeful, it can go in a good way for everyone, but definitely you can, and you can make it happen. So I wish you the best of luck with this month, and I hope to see you in another reading, okay? Goodbye. Hi, pal number two, welcome to your reading. All about the major challenges that you are going to face in this month of August and where you should focus on to solve them. So, the main card that you chose was the Assassin. And let's see what more you got. The Queen of Cups. The High Priest. Priestess. The Ace of Swords. The Eight of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands. We also have Cherry and Feverfew. The main card that you chose is the Assassin. The Assassin talks to us about a period of achievements, but also all those achievements bring bonds and ties that walk you with them. So this card always tells you that you should be self-disciplined, and you should hardening yourself and to move on in some choice or in some direction that you are avoiding to go. The assassin is someone that always has a great intuition, but is trying to delay to make his choices to go in the direction that they know they already have to know. And actually, when we look at your tarot cards, they tells us a bit about the same, right? You have here the Queen of Cups together with the High Priestess. So you are in a period there your intuition is really, really high. You are faced with some choice, some direction that you have to go, and your intuition is telling you where you have to go, but you are trying to not see it, or you are opting to still not being very sure and delaying it. All these cards here tells us that if you allow yourself to trust in your intuition and because having one of these cards would already mean that you are in a period of very aligned emotion and intuition and flowing and in flow with them. But having both together just makes the message much more powerful. So you are really in this period that if you trust in your intuition and you follow it, you will achieve major breakthroughs in your mind. Okay, whatever ideas that you need to come up with or solutions, you will find them if you allow yourself to trust in your intuition. Okay. Actually, this card here also tells us that maybe you have some tasks or options or a path that you have been putting off. You have been very careful, very very slow in moving in this direction. But you see, this is cherries. You know, the cherry season. How beautiful it is and how many flowers bloom everywhere. This card actually tells us that you are in a period of great abundance and productivity, and if you allow yourself to trust more in your gut instinct and where you really feel you should go, the direction that you should go, you will be blessed with major ideas and solutions and even energy to make yourself move in this direction. Okay, this also talks us about maybe this is a group thing. It depends on more people, because here is telling us that if or maybe you are going to form a small group to deal with this task or this thing that you have to do, because here is telling us that you and this work group, this is mainly a work group, even if it's with someone from your family or friends, the main thing here that you'll be focusing on this task is productivity. It's a work task, and if this idea that will come up to you will allow you to be completely aligned with this group, and you guys will be able to make all this planning and this progress in analyzing the next steps that you should take together, and you see how bright your next moves will seem, because even if you guys will see some challenges, you will also see that you have a major chance of success in whatever this is. Okay, and when we are here with the feverfew, the feverfew tells us that it is time to return the love that we have received from others, that we have this capability of being strong, and our emotional stability is such a great point right now we feel so emotionally strong and prepared that we are capable of helping other people around us that may not be feeling that strong or that well. This card actually here tells us that if you have someone that is your friend or your family member that somehow you notice that you haven't been in touch that much, that you, which is weird from them, right? If you haven't been in touch and you used to talk to them more, maybe that's a sign from you that maybe you should contact them. Maybe they are going through something tough and they need your emotional support to help them a bit. So this card here tells us because the feverfew is a plant that when when she's around, the other plants are free from insects and from pests that can harm them. This is a plant that is very strong, has a very pungent smell, so keeps the enemies, the insects that could harm other plants, keeps them away, because so all the plants that grow around the feverfew grow more healthy and safer than the other plants. It's common to plant it so that the plants around them can enjoy better times. And that's actually with this card is calling you up to, is that if you can try to, in the same way, if protect someone that you feel it needs your protection right now. I'm going to shuffle an oracle deck and ask for some more extra advices that may come. So you got rhythm and bravery. Rhythm, this card here tells us that you can look for signs around you. If you are actually doubting a bit of your intuition, you can look for signs around you in the way that you are going in the right direction. And when you see these signs, you can even ask for them. Can you please send me signs if I'm going in the right direction? This usually helps. You will be able to tune in a rhythm and gain the momentum, so you can actually go in front with the choices that and the path that you need to make. So if you need that extra little bit of confirmation, you can ask for signs and follow them with your intuition in the path that you are meant to go. And this card here, bravery, also got bravery, explore your inner wild places, actually tells us that sometimes we may be having nightmares or maybe behaviors or thoughts that we think they are a bit darker and we may be worried about them. So this card here tells us that be brave. Every part of you, there's no wrong part, even if it's a bit more darker. There is no wrong part. Just is just also another part of you, okay? And and that you should own all sides of you, all different places that you have on your mind. You should own them without any shame, and because they are part of you, right? This is actually what this card tells us. Every part of you should be accepted and known without shame and fear from you. So, for example, because here we have two moons that again calls us to intuition. So that is what I'm being called to. If you somehow fear your intuition or are not very sure, this card here is actually telling you to be brave and accept yourself as you are, because you are much more gifted and capable than you actually maybe understand. Okay, so this is it for you, pile number 2. I hope you like it, and I hope this can help you navigate the next month. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. In the meantime, it got dark, so I had to put an artificial light. I'm sorry for all the shadows that now it comes on the table. This is going to be a reading about what major challenges you may be facing in the next month, in the month of August, and now you know what you should focus on to overcome them in the best possible way. So you chose the Enter as a main card, and let me put the other cards that came with it. The Four of Swords, the Six of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, Temperance, Two of Swords, and the Emperor. And we got Rose here, and we also got Magnolia. So you chose as your main card the Enter. The Enter is from a group of cards that talks to us about hard work and necessity, things that you may be missing or may be looking for. The Enter tells us that you know the path you want to follow. The Enter always knows the prey that he wants to follow, right? You know the path you want to follow, but there are several ways you can approach it. However, you are so focused on your end goal that you are only seeing one way, okay? And that might not be the right way for you. Even if some people have the same goal, they have different ways of approaching, and different ways work for different people. So maybe you should rethink the way you are approaching this goal. And also here with your tarot cards, they are calling you to make to have a period of non-action. Okay, the Four of Swords is about a period where you should rest, where you should take temporarily no action. Maybe you lost something financial, something material. Maybe you suffered recently a big loss on your part. Maybe an unexpected loss. And that's why maybe you are a bit lost. You are being called to approach your goal in a different way. Maybe it's because of this. But these two cards here together tells us that the loss that you suffer, there is someone that can help you with that loss a little bit. The Temperance card here tells us that you should be patient about something bad that may have happened recently. You should be patient. you have to give yourself a little bit of time to get back on your feet, to be capable to move on again. And I'm being really called to the ground that is on a mountain. So your higher path, the goal that you are pursuing, you should stay true to it. Don't That's your goal, and that's a perfectly good goal. You should stay true to your goal, even though you know that the path sometimes it's a bit hard. But you stay true to your goal because you are going to make it. Just maybe not in a way you thought, but you are going to make it. Because I see that maybe you are a bit indecisive about what you should do now, and the Temperance here is telling you to stay true to your path, because at the end of the way is going to make you feel good. It's going to make you feel that you are on the right place, that is exactly what you want. The end of this is going to be good. Right now you may not see that, you are in a very bad spot, but the end of this is good, okay? Actually, this card here tells us that, I don't know if you know about magnolias, but the magnolia tree, they have found fossils, and it's been like this for millions of years. So it's a tree that's barely changed for millions of years. So what this card here calls us to do is that you need to persevere, okay? The right time is going to come again for you soon, but until then you need to persevere and endurance, okay? Just like the magnolia tree made it through all these years without change, okay? And this card here, the rose, actually it's an interesting card. The rose tells us that you should confide in someone. You should look for a friend or someone. You have to be very careful. This card also comes as a warning, okay? You should be careful and choose in where the person that you can confide, you should choose it carefully. But this card here says that there will be an exchange between you and that person. And because here we see that you may be helped out, you lost something financially or material, you lost something, and there is going to be someone that can help you out in this area, okay? And maybe the person that can help you is going to be the person that you confine the hardship that you are going through, okay? So this card tells you that you should be careful about the person that you tell this, but actually this person could be a great help for you, okay? And again, both of these cards tells us that change is going to come for the better, and change is going to come soon for you, okay? But don't forget, I can't imagine how you must be feeling right now. These two cards may be a bit scary, but you need to give yourself time to rest a bit. You need some time out with no action, okay? You need some time to give yourself some time to rest before you can move on, okay? I'm actually going to shuffle an oracle deck to ask more advices for you. Okay. Pile number 3. Here. What we have been talking about maybe you be a bit more like an hunter. You are so focused on your end goal that you you are not thinking about other paths. So this card here tells you the same thing. Be aware of what's around you and look beyond what you can see. Okay, maybe there are different paths for you that you are not thinking. Maybe because you haven't given yourself time to look around you, to think, to stop looking from your end goal. Okay, you need some time to rest, take a step back, and maybe that's going to let you be more aware of what's going around you, because your blessings are coming. Okay, so this is, stay true to your end goal, even if it's not in a way, it's not going to go in a way that you imagine. Stay true to your end goal, because your end goal is going to bring you what you want, and there is a way for you to get there. Okay, that choice is going to be presented to you soon. I think maybe through a bit inside from this confidence that you will rely on someone who will offer you help and is going to help you out, and you are going to have to make a choice, a decision about it. Not right now, more for the end part of the month, but you are going to have this choice, and this is the choice you have been waiting for. Okay, it's going to take you to what you want. It's going to take you to a position where you can control better what's going on around you, and you will feel yourself more powerful, more sure, more confident, and anything you may have lost, you will feel yourself back on track to get back again. Okay, so this is it, what I have for you, pile number 3. I hope this helps you navigate the next month, and I hope to see you in another reading. Goodbye.